Hi, and welcome back to Spooky Readings. My name's Bree, and tonight we are going to be reading Jeremiah Curtin's St. Martin's Eve. Now, first, before we get into reading, let's explore what exactly is St. Martin's Day, or Martinmas, or Martin's Dag. So, it's also referred to as Old Halloween, and even online I saw someone call it Catholic Thanksgiving. So, St. Martin's Day is usually celebrated in Germanic-speaking countries, and of course celebrates St. Martin of Tours, who I am not going to go into because that could probably be a whole other video unto itself. But also it celebrates the end of the harvest season and the official start of winter. It's celebrated with feasts and lanterns and parades and bonfires, etc. Of course, it depends on what region you live in as to how it's celebrated. And I don't know about you, but it actually sounds really, really good. Jeremiah Curtin is actually an American writer, and this story we're about to read is taken from Tales of Fairies and the Ghost World, collected from oral tradition in southwest Munster, Munster being in Ireland. So I have a feeling that St. Martin's Day in this story is more the Catholic version rather than the Germanic version. So let's get into it. This is St. Martin's Eve. So just before I start this, the first line has two words that are place names that I cannot say. So I'm going to try and say them, and I'll put the text down there. In Iveray, not far from the town of Cahir-Caveen, there lived a farmer, James Shee, with his wife and 3 children, 2 sons and a daughter. The man was peaceable, honest, and very charitable to the poor, but his wife was hard-hearted, never giving even a drink of milk to a needy person. Her younger son was as bad in every way as herself, and whatever the mother did, he always agreed with her and was on her side. This was before the roads and cars were in the Kerry Mountains. The only way of travelling in those days, when a man didn't walk, was to ride sitting on a straw saddle, and the only way to take anything to market was on horseback in creels. It happened at any rate that James Shee was going in the beginning of November to Cork with 2 firkins of butter, and what troubled him most was the fear he'd not be home on St. Martin's night to do the honour to the saint, for never had he let that night pass without drawing blood in honour of the saint. To make sure, he called the elder son and said, "If I'm not at the house on St. Martin's night, kill the big sheep that is running with the cows." She went away to Cork with the butter, but could not be home in time. The elder son went out on St. Martin's Eve when he saw that his father was not coming, and drove the sheep into the house. "What are you doing, you fool, with that sheep?" asked the mother. "Sure, I'm going to kill it. Didn't you hear my father tell me that there was never a St. Martin's night but he drew blood? Do you want to have the house disgraced?" At this, the mother made sport of him and said, "Drive out the sheep and I'll give you something else to kill by and by." So the boy let the sheep out, thinking the mother would kill a goose. Also, during my brief research, it is said that often on St. Martin's Day, they kill the first goose of the season or something, or they have there's a Martinmas goose is a thing. So that's why he thought of the goose. He sat down and waited for the mother to give him whatever she had to kill. It wasn't long till she came in, bringing a big tomcat they had, and the same cat was in the house 9 or 10 years. Not the cat. No, I cannot. I'm a cat lady. I cannot. Seriously, this lady is evil. Here, said she, you can kill this beast and draw its blood. We'll have it cooked when your father comes home. The boy was very angry and spoke up to the mother. Sure, the house is disgraced forever, he said, and it will not be easy for you to satisfy my father when he comes. He didn't kill the cat, you may be sure. Thank goodness for that. Oh my gosh. And neither he nor his sister ate a bite of supper. They were crying and fretting over the disgrace all the evening. That very night the house caught fire and burned down. Nothing was left but the four walls. The mother and younger son were burned to death, but the elder son and his sister escaped by some miracle. I mean, she was pretty much almost a cat killer, so can you... And was it deliberate? I shouldn't be so cheerful about that. That's sad. That's sad. But the elder son and his sister escaped by some miracle. That's good. They went to a neighbour's house and were there till the father came on the following evening. When he found the house destroyed and the wife and the younger son dead, he mourned and lamented. But when the other son told him what the mother did on St. Martin's Eve, he cried out, it was the wrath of God that fell on my house. If I had stopped at home till after St. Martin's night, all would be safe and well with me now. James Shee went to the priest on the following morning and asked, would it be good or lucky for him to rebuild the house? Indeed, said the priest. There is no harm in putting a roof on the walls and repairing them if you will have Mass celebrated in the house before you go to live in it. If you do that, all will be well with you. She spoke to the priest because people are opposed to repairing or rebuilding a burnt house, and especially if any person has been burnt in it. Well, James Shee put a roof on the house, repaired it, and had Mass celebrated inside. That evening, as Shee was sitting down to supper, what should he see but his wife coming in the door to him? He thought she wasn't dead at all. Ah, Mary, said he. 'Tis not so bad as they told me. Sure, I thought it is dead you were. Oh, then you are welcome home. Come and sit down here. The supper is ready. She didn't answer a word, but looked him straight in the face and walked on to the room at the other end of the house. He jumped up, thinking it sick the woman was, and followed her to the room to help her. He shut the door after him. As he was not coming back for a long time, the son thought at last that he'd go and ask the father why he wasn't eating his supper. When he went into the room, he saw no sign of his mother, saw nothing in the place but 2 legs from the knees down. He screamed out for his sister, and she came. Oh, merciful God, screamed the sister. Those are my father's legs, cried the brother. And Mary, don't you know the stockings? Sure you knitted them yourself, and don't I know the brogues very well? They called in the neighbours, and to the terror of them, they saw nothing but the 2 legs and feet of James Shee. There was a wake over the remains that night, and the next day they buried the 2 legs. Some people advised the boy and girl never to sleep a night in their house, that their mother's soul was lost, and that was why she came and ate up the father, and she would eat themselves as well. Oh, so it's literally just 2 legs remaining. Interesting. Because I thought that it could be a way of saying that he was hanging, I don't know, he was the rest of his body was out of sight. Now the 2 started to walk the world, not caring much where they were going, if only they escaped their mother. They stopped the first night at a farmer's house not far from Killarney. Ah! We lost a pumpkin, guys. After supper, a bed was made down for them by the fire. In the corner they lay there. About the middle of the night, a great noise was heard outside, and the woman of the house called to her boys and servants to get up and go to the cow house to know why the cows were striving to kill one another. Her own son rose first. When he and the 2 servant boys went out, they saw the ghost of a woman, and she in chains. She made at them and wasn't long killing the 3. Oh, she's on a rampage. We have a cat killer ghost on the rampage. Yeah, I don't like this lady. By that, I just knocked my bat off as well. It's these amazing sleeves. I love them, guys. Not seeing the boys come in, the farmer and his wife rose up, sprinkled holy water around the house, blessed themselves, and went out. And there they saw the ghost in blue blazers and chains around her. In a coop outside by himself was a March cock, which is a cock hatched in March from a cock and then hatched in March. Thank you, Jeremiah, for the footnote. He flew down from his perch and crowed 12 times. That moment, the ghost disappeared. Now the neighbours were roused, and the news flew around that the 3 boys were killed. But the brother and sister didn't say a word to anyone, but, rising up early, started on their journey, begging God's protection as they went. They never stopped nor stayed till they came to Rathmore near Cork, and, going to a farmhouse, the boy asked for lodgings in God's name. I will give you lodgings in his name, said the farmer's wife. She brought warm water for the 2 to wash their hands and feet, for they were tired and dusty. After supper, a bed was put down for them, and about the same hour as the night before there was a great noise outside. Rise up and go out, said the farmer's wife. Some of the cows must be untied. I'll not go out at this hour of the night if they are untied itself, said the man. I'll stay where I am. G'day. I'll stay where I am. I'll stay where I am if they kill one another, for it isn't safe to go out till the cock crows. After the cock crow, I will go out. That's true for you, said the farmer's wife, and 'pon my word, before coming to bed, I forget to sprinkle holy water in the room and to bless myself. So, taking the bottle hanging near the bed, she sprinkled the water around the room and toward the threshold and made the sign of the cross. The man didn't go out until cockcrow. The brother and sister went away early and travelled all day. Coming evening, they met a pleasant-looking man who stood before them in the road. You seem to be strangers, said he. And where are you going? We are strangers, said the boy, and we don't know where to go. You need go no farther. I know you well. Your home is in Ivera. I am St. Martin, sent from the Lord to protect you and your sister. It's our first saint, guys. Yay. You were going to draw the blood of a sheep in my honour, but your mother and brother made sport of you, and your mother wouldn't let you do what your father told you. You see what has come to them. They are lost forever, both of them. Your father is saved in heaven, for he was a good man. Your mother will be here soon, and I'll put her in the way that she'll never trouble you again. Oh, what a nice guy. Good old Marty. Taking a rod from his bosom and dipping it in a vial of holy water, he drew a circle around the brother and sister. Soon they heard their mother coming, and then they saw her with chains lights on her, and the rattling was terrible, and the flames were rising from her. She came to where they stood and said, "Bad luck to you both for being the cause of my misery." "God forbid that," said St. Martin. "It isn't they are the cause, but yourself, for you were always bad. You would not honour me, and now you must suffer for it." He pulled out a book and began to read, and after he read a few minutes, he told her to depart and not be seen in Ireland again until the day of judgment. She rose in the air in flames of fire, and with such a noise that you'd think all the thunders of heaven were roaring, and all the houses and walls in the kingdom were tumbling to the ground. She sounds like a very dramatic mother. The brother and sister went on their knees and thanked St. Martin. He blessed them and told them to rise, and, taking a little tablecloth out of his bosom, he said to the brother, "Take this cloth with you and keep it in secret." How many things is he hiding in his bosom? Like, is it like a Doraemon pocket? If you don't know who that is, that's it's a cartoon where he's got like a three-dimensional pocket, like he can pull like objects out, like big objects out of his pocket. So I'm thinking that St. Martin has the same thing in his robes. It's like, oh, here's a bus, here's a helicopter. "Take this cloth with you and keep it in secret. Let no one know that you have it. If you or your sister are in need, go to your room, close the door behind you and bolt it. Spread out the cloth then, and plenty of everything to eat and drink will come to you. Keep the cloth with you always. It belongs to both of you. Now go home and live in the house that your father built, and let the priest come and celebrate Monday Mass in it, and live the life that your father lived before you." The two came home, and brother and sister lived a good life. They married. I don't know if that means each other or other people. Yeah. And when either was in need, that one had the cloth to fall back on. And their grandchildren are living yet in Ivra. And this is truth, every word of it. And it's often I hear my poor grandmother tell this story. The Almighty God rest her soul, and she was the woman that wouldn't tell a lie. She knew James Shee and his wife very well. And that's it. So a really nice short one today. What did you think? I think that the lady deserved it because she wanted to kill a cat. She's like a really dramatic but like not very nice parent. Not nice at all. Be like, yeah. I love how like they mentioned that the third child was also like really nasty, but never said anything else about him. Like he never appeared in the story again. And the legs, I should have, or would have read that more dramatically if I realised what the vision was. But anyway, that one was really cool. Like, look, I like all of them. And we had our first saint, and he was really helpful. Yeah. It's actually really interesting because just in terms of, I was thinking when reading this, priests and Catholicism and saints, like being in these kind of more supernatural kind of stories. Because I don't know if you know much about Jane Austen, but back in her day, like she wrote a book, Northanger Abbey, and that book was actually her way of like taking the piss at like literature Gothic literature at the time. And if you've read that story, then you know that she references a book called The Monk. And I've actually read that book. It is like very, very long. I think it's like 350 pages, but it's very scandalous. But a lot of those stories back then, they did have lots of like priests and Catholicism intertwined, and some of it was to do with a pushback, a societal pushback on Catholicism, because I guess, with the whole Protestant Catholic kind of thing where they've been at each other in Europe for centuries, that kind of thing. Sometimes, like in terms of the book The Monk, it depicted Catholic monks as, I think they're Catholic monks, as, a bit corrupt and stuff like that. So I think that's interesting. And of course, other than stories about exorcism, they feature a lot. I guess, yeah. I like reading these stories. They really, I guess it's a time of literature that like people know a little bit about, but yeah, interesting stories. So next week, we will actually be taking the week off, guys. Yay! And our next episode will be uploaded on November 17th. And that's when we will be kicking off our Christmas season. I've really enjoyed this spooky season so much. It's really helped me to avoid some of the spring pollen outside. But until then, stay spooky. All right. Bye.